Hey, how's it going? James here. This is just a little bit of an update as to what's going on and hopefully a little bit more frequent content in the future. Um, Work has been insane pretty much the past year, but thankfully I am taking a spot that gives me a consistent schedule for the next 6 months. So that will be a massive improvement in terms of time management for myself. So hopefully I'll be able to actually do things that I've been wanting to do. Just time doesn't really negate it. Whether me being tired, I'd have a couple of side gigs that I do. It's kind of a mess, but now for the next 6 months going forward, hopefully things will be a little more consistent. Uh, some of the things that I'd like to focus on is definitely the Genesis Mini 2. This was really big heads up to Eric, Mighty Q Dog. Really, really appreciate this. I never got a chance to actually do a video for this yet in terms of me saying thank you and the actual console. Well, I call it console. It's you know what it is. But it just hasn't been flexible or feasible. But I would like to actually dig into this thing and make a proper sort of retrospective video on it once I actually have a chance to play around with it. And then as you'll see below is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. You're actually watching the first thing that I'm filming on it right now. I don't have a proper card for it, so I'm only doing 1080p, ProRes 422, but I'm sure that it's going to absolutely destroy the memory card that's in there in terms of file size. But I would like to actually play with it a little bit, get used to it, and then in the future, and have a little bit more cash, I'll buy a proper storage medium that will support the 4K version on this. Even though it's kind of pointless because YouTube has their way of degrading the footage because, the way that it just works. What you get off of the camera and what you see through YouTube is two completely different things in terms of quality. But nonetheless, I would still like to play around with it. And yeah, from that, I would like to get back into the whole podcast thing. It definitely won't be monthly, and I want it to be more frequent than quarterly. So either March or April, I'll probably start trying to get into it with bi-monthly. So 6 a year kind of thing. And that's going to be a nice thing with this camera too, is that I can actually maybe record those. If I can have someone in person with a guest sit side by side. I've got these fancy wireless mics, two of them, so I can actually have a little bit of a convo and hopefully with proper microphones. And you know what, it might actually be a somewhat professional production. I laugh at that because it definitely will be a professional production. But at least I've been able to up my gear a little bit. And with this, the GH5 will be going. I'll be keeping the two lenses because they match the Blackmagic. But GH5, I bit off more than I can chew with that thing. I'm not going to say it's the camera's fault. It's definitely user error on my part. There's so many friggin' functions on that thing. I could never get things to look quite how I wanted. So I'll box that up in its retail packaging, and someone else in the local area, when I put it on a posting site, will be able to benefit from that in the future. I'm definitely going to take a hit on the money on that I spent, but that's fine. I got the actual toy that I really wanted, but I could not afford before. And this was an absolute killer deal. It was used. I was missing the power adapter, but I definitely stuck it to the seller saying, you know what, I know it came with one. I told you I needed one. The seller said that he had it and then showed up for the sale without it. And I said, well, guess what? I told you that the power adapter is essential for me. So you can either take a hit on the camera, the sale here, or I could just walk away. And yeah, he took the loss, the cost of the adapter. We figured out what it was going to be in terms of the local and plus the sales tax and then shipping, because I wasn't going to drive it to Toronto to get it. I'd rather just have it shipped to the house. So he ate that cost because I told him I'm going to have to eat that cost now. So yeah, a little bit of a babble on what's going on and, off on a tangent, that kind of thing. And yeah, but hopefully I can be a little bit more face-to-face interaction with you all in the future. And yeah, hopefully good things to come. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.